You know, back in 1931, when my mother was born, my dad was born in 1928. They never discussed secrets, and they said keep it a secret. What goes on in this house stays in this house. That's bullshit. What goes on in this house that ain't right, expose it. You should never grow up having to keep secrets. Johnny Depp lived through pure hell. His mother didn't know no better. She was from Virginia. She was from Kentucky. She also had demon possession to do these things, to call Johnny Depp Four Eyes. And his sister had buck teeth, so the mother called her daughter buck teeth. She criticized, and then she would have her dad beat Johnny Depp every day after work, just to enjoy it. That's demons. And so Johnny Depp didn't grow up demon-possessed. He grew up being a person like Jesus. Okay? He had to go through all that abuse. And then J.D. Vance, his mother hated him from birth. And when he was 12, she had told him, we're both going to die. I'm going to kill you. She was getting ready to take the car. He was in the car with her. She was driving, and he didn't want to die. He knew he had a purpose. God gave him a purpose at birth, even though the mother despised her son. And he jumped out of the car, and he never went home. And look what happened. Did he live as a victim? Hell no. He became the vice president. He's the kindest, most compassionate man. Did he hate women because his mother left him or hated him? Hell no. You ought to see how he treats his wife and his 3 children. He carries his babies and his family with him everywhere he goes. They're on the plane with him. They're everywhere. He doesn't leave them behind because he's the vice president. He's humble. And he's out there. If you're being abused or if you're being mistreated, write a letter to the White House. I'm serious. They really, truly care about things. And they're intervening in these situations because people are being voices. Some people are so freaking scared of who the enemy is because they've been brainwashed, and they always apologize. I used to apologize all the time just for being me because I was always blamed. Even as a kid, I was always blamed. And I was also shamed when I was 7. I was told, tell your mom what happened to you. For 2 years, I thought I was pregnant from age 5 to 7. What a burden to carry when you don't know what the hell's going on for what happened. Go tell Mom. I did. I clearly remember it was a day the man was on the moon in 1966. Is when and then my mom was in the basement in Kentucky. And I went downstairs and I said, Mom, I think I'm pregnant. And she kept ironing, numb, ignoring, tuning out a child. And I said, Mom, I think I'm pregnant. For 2 years, I thought I was pregnant. Can you imagine? And she says to me, oh, Brenda, that's nothing. That happens to everybody. Can you imagine the trauma that felt to a 7-year-old's heart when someone stole her innocence? I mean, there's so many people that say, keep it in the family. Fuck that. You need to expose it. And then they're labeled as a sex predator. Or they'll serve time for thinking somebody else's body belonged to them and they could overpower them with evil and get satisfaction from it. And that's not all. Mental abuse is even worse. It's men or women that have trauma that they don't want to deal with, so they've opened up the door for Satan to demon possess them. It's not a sickness. They're not bipolar. That's a fucking bullshit word too. People are traumatized. I was called all these labels. They were so inaccurate. The only one that was accurate was dyslexia. And there's no medication that changes that. The person has to learn their way by feeling, seeing, listening. And then some people said, oh, you're so jacked up. You're like a Duracell battery. You make me nervous. I can't stand. They didn't know I was getting the shit beat out of me. Even pregnant. And people wait till someone's dead to tell a story, but I'm telling it now. That's what Naomi Judd did. She waited till her mother died. I don't know why, because that secret could save her. People live with this unless somebody saves them. Once the story's told, then they can know what to do to save their own life, because a lot of people take their own life because they've been tore down to feel like a nothing. And it haunts them the rest of their life unless you break free and don't become a victim. You become a victor. And then I attract dangerous men without self-control they let one head overlead the other, and they never think with the one on the top of their head, and that is so sad. And so, anyway, I'm going to come back with part 3.